Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we welcome you to the City of Somerville Zoning Board of Appeals. It is April 2nd, 2025. It is 6:01 p.m. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting of the Somerville Zoning Board of Appeals will be conducted via remote participation. A recording of these proceedings can be accessed at any time using the registration link at the top of the agenda. Tonight, joining us on the board, we have 100% attendance here tonight. We have Ann Brockelman, she's our vice chair. Brian Cook, he's our acting clerk this evening. Ann Fullerton, Zach Zaremba, and Cecia Daglian. And joining us from the staff, supporting us, is Emily Hutchings and Kit Lester. Now, let's see what we got here tonight. We have two cases, and the acting clerk, they're both new, but ask him to please open the cases, Brian.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to open the case of 282 McGraw Highway, ZP 25-000024, 181 Bonfire Corp., doing business as Bonfire Boston, seeks a special permit to establish a restaurant use in the Small Business Overlay District, where the underlying zoning district is neighborhood residence.
Thank you, Brian. So who's here tonight to represent 282 McGrath Highway?
Madam Chair, this is Emily Hutchings. I see Alexander A.J. Capano and Julio Pena who are here. I'm going to promote them to panelists. And
What was the second name?
Julio Pena.
Thank you.
So they should be rejoining us as panelists shortly. And if anyone else needs to be promoted, please let me know.
It's just Julio and I tonight. Thank you very much, Emily. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So you want to tell us about your project?
Absolutely. I did upload some slides to the CitizenServe portal, but I can just dive right into what I have prepared as a presentation. So here, anyway, good evening, members of the zoning board. My name is AJ Capano, and I represent Mr. Julio Pena, the president of 181 Bonfire Corp. DBA Bonfire Boston. We are here this evening as as Clerk Cook referenced, seeking a special permit to establish a restaurant within the Small Business Overlay District at 282 McGrath Highway. The underlying zoning district is NR, and pursuant to the ordinance table 8.2.4a, a special permit is required for a bar, restaurant, and tavern uses in that overlay district. Historically, this building has functioned as a bar and restaurant since the 1970s. Unfortunately, due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the previous establishment was forced to close, and the property lost its prior non-conforming status due to inactivity. Despite that setback, Mr. Pena has remained steadfast in his commitment to revitalize this space, and he has diligently worked towards this goal tonight since being informed of the abandonment in July of 2024. The building itself is an existing non-conforming commercial structure that's within a residential zoning district. Our proposal doesn't seek to alter the building's footprint. Instead, we plan to renovate the interior by reconfiguring the layout into a more open space concept, updating the fixtures to support a new world-class Dominican restaurant. The proposed restaurant is on the first floor, going to encompass 3,865 square feet and accommodate 50 seats per our licensing. My client has made significant improvements to this vacant property. He repaired the roof, he upgraded the electrical service, and he's completed other various safety renovations at the property. That investment not only ensures compliance to modern standards, but also enhances the overall safety and aesthetics of an otherwise abandoned vacant site. This establishment will serve as a vital neighborhood and community-oriented business, providing a local minority-owned restaurant that will offer high-quality Dominican cuisine at accessible prices. The restaurant will improve pedestrian and bicycle access by creating an inviting destination with an attractive new storefront. The location lies within the Union Square neighborhood, and as the Economic Development Division noted, this proposal will activate a currently vacant space and generate new street-level activity. By bringing a new business to this part of Union Square, we aim to stimulate local commerce, attract visitors, and contribute to the district's economic vitality. Transitioning this property into the commercial tax base will also generate additional revenue to support essential public services and infrastructural improvements, aligning with the city's economic development goals. As part of our outreach efforts, we held a neighborhood meeting with Councillor J.T. Scott on February 5th, 2025. The feedback from the attendees at that meeting was overwhelmingly positive, and that demonstrated strong community support for this project. We recognize that the ordinance table 8.2.4B requires 4 short-term bike parking spaces and 0.8 or 1 long-term bike parking spaces. These have been preliminarily incorporated into the site plan, and I uploaded that as I mentioned at the outset. Compliance with the zoning requirements of those bike spaces will be finalized at the building permit stage as noted in the staff memo. Additionally, we recognize that all signage will be reviewed separately to ensure zoning compliance, and that'll be also under a separate building permit. We appreciate your time and consideration of our request. We look forward to bringing this vibrant and inclusive dining experience to the community, and we respectfully ask for your approval of the special permit so that we may proceed with the plans to enhance and activate this space. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Was there something that you said you put out that we haven't seen?
Yeah, so I uploaded just a short slide showing the existing footprint. Not that the footprint is changing, the existing layout, the new layout, and just some renderings of the interior of the space so you all could see what the design is going to look like. And our architect, who's not here with us tonight, was able to incorporate some preliminary bike spaces so that, showing that we saw the feedback and got it in there.
Are you prepared to show us that now, what you
Yeah,
spoke about?
yes,
Sure, if it's just
absolutely.
brief, that'd be great.
Great. How do I do that?
So AJ, this is Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
And Madam Chair, through you, there should be a share button at the bottom of your screen or at the top of your screen, depending on what view you're in. You do have permission to share at this time. It should be a little green share button.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So this is our architect, Flow Design Architect. It was prepared for obviously for Julio Pena. So as you can see, here's the existing floor plans. Previously it was Nucleo Sportinguista, and it was a bar, restaurant, kitchen in the back, and here's the driveway that's off to the right, and there's a tree out front. Here's the existing facade. And then on the next page showing here, this is the proposed layout of the interior. Again, the footprint of the building doesn't change. That driveway is still there. Here's the tree. And then here's where we would propose to put those bike racks. I was looking at the design and we kind of had to get this together for tonight's meeting. And again, the requirements of these bike racks will be revisited at the building permit stage. But, you know, we put these two right out front, so it's visible to the employees from the inside. So that would be secure for the long-term bike parking. And then, you know, you go in, we're going to have the 50 seats in here, and the bar will be over here, a VIP area over here, kitchen, and here's the restrooms in the middle. And then again, no changes to the outside. We will revisit signage down the road, but there's still a lot of work to be done to the inside, which, you know, obviously we stopped to continue with these permits. So here's a rendering of the interior. Julio worked with a really great design firm out of New Jersey. Julio, what was the name of that firm again? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
it was JLA Interior out of New Jersey.
JLA Interior.
Yeah, she does
So
very well.
as you can see, we're going to have a modern look inside. I love this green and the greenery on the inside here. This is the front area. And here's the entrance. And this is the branding that we're going to go with, that Julio has designed it. I really like it. It's simple, it's clean, and you know, this will be what a potential sign will look like. We're not there yet, but we're hoping that that's what that looks like. So that was I'm going to stop sharing my screen because that's all I had, unless anybody wants to go back to any of it to look at it.
No, that's good. Why does it say, I always question the people about this. Bonfire is the name, and inside you're saying the sign is Bonfire Boston. Why are you saying Boston? Why aren't you saying Somerville?
It's just because Boston is obviously well known. I'm a Celtics fan, you know. When I go anywhere around the world, they ask me where I'm from. Somerville doesn't quite pop up as much as Boston, but same thing like Encore, Boston Harbor, and they're in, I believe, where are they? They're in
Everett.
Yeah,
Everett.
so yeah. It's just to bring a broader name to the company, pretty much.
All right, thank you. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to speak to the applicant?
Madam Chair, this is Emily Hutchings. I do see someone with their hand raised. If we can get the timer up before I call on them.
Okay.
There we
well,
go. All right. So I am now, it looks like their hand went down. Oh, there we go. Hand went up again. All right. I'm allowing Jessica Eshelman to speak. Jessica, you will need to unmute yourself, but you should be able to talk now.
Great. Thank you very much. And everybody can hear me?
Yes, could you please give us your address with your name?
Certainly, Madam Chair. My name is Jessica Eschleman. I'm the Executive Director of Union Square Main Streets. Our offices are located at 366 Somerville Avenue. I'm very excited to be here tonight and speak in enthusiastic favor of this project as a whole and tonight's order of business. If you're not familiar, Union Square Main Streets is the nonprofit that's been serving 200 small businesses in Union Square for the past 20 years. We couldn't be more excited about all the economic opportunity that Boston Bonfire will be bringing to our neighborhood. We're currently a dining destination, and to add even more dining options and more multicultural dining options will serve our neighborhood and our city as a whole quite well. Additionally, we're very excited about the connectivity that this restaurant will serve in terms of helping to bridge East Somerville to Union Square. Currently, there's a bunch of auto businesses, which are wonderful, but not a lot that happen after 5 p.m. And we know that Boston Bonfire will bring a lot of life and energy to this part of our program area. We're excited about the jobs. We're excited about the commercial tax base. We're excited about the rooms and meals tax. We know that these hearings are a result of the pandemic and this parcel falling out of similar use. So we couldn't be more thrilled to help advance this project and get this parcel up and running and productive and creating employment opportunities and a place for us to all come and gather. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. And anybody else?
Madam Chair, this is Emily Hutchings. I'd like to just note for the public, if anyone else would like to speak, please raise your hand. Madam Chair, I am not seeing anyone with their hand raised at this time.
Okay, well, as usually I like to leave it open for a little bit longer, just in case somebody comes in late from work and they're turning us on. So we'll switch over to the board to see if anybody has any comments, questions, whatever. Does anybody here on the board have anything to say? Or you like what you heard? Raise your hands if you want to speak. No, okay. So at this time, we'll close the public portion. And it seems that the presentation and the paperwork and everything seem to be all in order. Are we ready to take a vote? Board? Can I see a thumbs up? You gonna vote? Okay. I froze everybody for a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna ask for the vote. Okay. Mr. Cook, could you please make a motion in the matter of 282 McGrath Highway?
Yes, Madam Chair, am I the voting member in this particular case?
You know what, I'm gonna have Cecilia vote on this one and you can vote on the next one.
All right, then
Cecilia, I'm sorry.
just need-
Good, thank
we'll
you
just
for
need
that.
somebody to move my motion.
Okay,
All right. So in the matter of 282 McGrath Highway, ZP 25000024, I move to approve a special permit to establish a restaurant use in the small business overlay district in an underlying NR zone with the permit conditions listed in the PPZ staff memo dated March 21st, 2025, and the findings as follows. 1, the project supports the goals laid out in Summer Vision 2040, the city's comprehensive master plan. And 2, the project meets the intent of the small business overlay zoning district, which is in part to create, maintain, and enhance locations appropriate for neighborhood and community serving businesses.
thank you. Somebody move the Ann Brockelman.
So moved.
Thank you. Seconded by
Second.
Ann Fullerton and Zach Zaremby. All in favor as we go around, please say aye. Cecilia Daglian,
Aye.
Zach Zaremba,
Aye.
Ann Brockelman,
Aye.
Ann Fullerton,
Aye.
and Susan Fontano, aye. Let the record show it was 100% in favor for 282 McGrath Highway. Good luck, guys.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Our next case this evening is, oh, drum roll here, 103 Washington Street.
Madam Chair, this is Emily Hutchings. We have Adam Dash here representing the applicant. So I'm promoting Adam to panelist. He should be here shortly.
Thank you.
In the meantime, shall I open the case?
Please do.
I would like to open 103 Washington Street, ZP 25-000023. Cloverleaf Capital Holdings LLC seeks a major amendment to a previously issued special permit ZBA 2017-54 under prior SCO sections 4.4.1 and 5.3.8.
Thank you, Brian. And point of information, Brian, you're going to vote on this case. And welcome, Mr. Dash.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board.
Nice to see you.
Always nice to see you as well. Emily, could we promote Vera Rodriguez and Peter Quinn, please?
This is Emily Hutchings. Yes, give me one moment.
Yes,
Thank you
so-
for letting me know.
No problem. While we're doing that, it's Adam Dash, 48 Grove Street in Somerville, representing the applicant, Cloverleaf Capital Holdings LLC. Vera Rodriguez of the applicant is here, as well as Peter Quinn of Peter Quinn Architects. This is an application, it's a little weird one, an application for a special permit for a revision under the old Somerville zoning ordinance, section 4.4.1, that some of you may recall we used to do quite frequently. This was a 3-story mixed-use building originally permitted by this board in 2017 under the old zoning ordinance. And right now we're seeking the revisions, and the relevant revisions tonight were to the left side setback. Peter will show you the visuals, but just to orient you, the left side setback, which went from the approved 1.8 feet to 1.0 foot, and then the rear setback, but because of the oddity of the lot, the rear setback is actually the right side. You can see in the 2 bubbled areas on the screen there. So there you go. So it says as built 2.1. So the right side got bigger and went from 1.7 feet to 2.1 feet, and the left side got smaller and went from 1.8 feet to 1 foot. And these are the differences from what the board had approved in 2017. So since the rear, that rear setback, which is actually the right side, got 0.4 feet larger than was approved, additional relief is not required. However, since the left side setback got 0.8 feet smaller, special permit under zoning ordinance, old Somerville zoning ordinance 4.4.1 is required. I would note applicant's not sure how this small discrepancy happened. Since one side got bigger and the other side got smaller, it appears as though the building was located like a little to the left from what it should be, from what the board had originally approved. Applicant did change contractors during construction. It is possible that slight setback discrepancy happened due to that, but applicant, just so you can be aware, was not aware of any discrepancy until city staff pointed it out at the certificate of occupancy stage. It is too small a discrepancy to readily notice, clearly, because my client didn't notice it. You can't really notice it just by looking at the building because it is 0.8 feet. Peter, do you want to go into the detail of that? Peter, you're there. You're muted. We can't hear you, Peter, although you're moving your cursor like you're presenting something. Maybe he's having trouble unmuting himself. At any rate, while that's going on, you can see on the image there how little the difference is that we're talking about. Are you there, Peter?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Sorry about
better.
that. The screen flipped up. Hold on just a minute. We'll bring that image back up. Oof. Okay. Seems like Zoom has changed their controls a little bit, and I was just getting used to it after 4 years. Weren't we all? So
Yeah, really, I'll second that emotion.
yeah, normally these things are caught when the developer submits an as-built of the foundation. I think that's standard procedure now with ISD, but for some reason this was not caught at that time. I was not aware of it. The surveyor produced an as-built plan that we saw more recently that showed that this is what it looks like, that in fact it's 1 foot at this corner. Where does this 1 foot come from? Well, if you look at this dotted plan right here, this was an old building that was on the site. And as you can see, it was not very polite to its neighbors. It actually overlapped in some points and encroached into the neighbor's property in the back here. But we knew we had 1 foot, right? We had 1'8", and we were just going to duplicate that. That is what we presented to you when we got the special permit under 441, the good old days. But of course, now this would never happen. We would have 5 feet here. But this is the way it was back then. Actually, now that I think about it, under the current zoning, MR4, I think we would be able to have 0 lot line, but we wouldn't be able to have any windows there. So long story short, this is what the condition in the field is like. I do have a couple of photos that give you a little bit of an idea what it looks like there. The first photo is along the rear property line. That would be going back to this. That'd be along this line right here. So you're just seeing a corner of our building. Go back to the photo. So that's the property. That's the 2'1" up here at the narrowest point. I think it's actually more, but the property line runs into this space here. And then on the other side, looking to the area where you have the shorter, it's really right in here where we have that discrepancy, right at this point where it's 1 foot. And again, it's actually, I think, bigger than that because the grade is just continuous across the property lines. So that's where we ended up on this thing, and it's an unfortunate situation. Just as a matter of incorrect layout by the original developer, as far as I can see, the original general contractor. It was long
Thank you,
gone.
Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Under the old zoning ordinance, section 4.4.1 requires that the discrepancy not be substantially detrimental to the neighborhood. And it also, under the old zoning, the board is supposed to look just at the relief being sought, the revision being sought, meaning just this left point. In fact, the change is actually so small, it's not detrimental at all, substantial or otherwise, and it's not even readily noticeable. I would note one typo in the staff report. On page 4, it says at the end there that this is a special permit for restaurant use. Clearly, that is a typo. This is a special permit for a revision to a prior approved project. So
We're aware of that. Thank you, Adam.
So applicant's asking for a special permit to allow the left side setback change of 0.8 feet. It's pretty mistake. There's nothing major about the project that has changed from what you approved other than this little bit that's before you at the moment.
Sorry. So, I'm sorry, folks. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm sorry for the interruption there. I apologize. That's the second time that's happened tonight. Okay, thank you, Adam, for your presentation. Can staff see if there's anybody in the public that has something they'd like to question the applicant or the attorney about?
Madam Chair, this is Emily Hutchings. I'm going to request that the timer be put up. If any member of the public would now like to speak in favor or against this application, or just simply with questions or concerns, please raise your hand. Madam Chair, I am not seeing any hands raised at this time.
Okay, well, at this time, we will close the public portion and open it up to the board for their questions or comments. Does anybody have a comment for the applicant or for Ms. Rodriguez and the attorney, Adam Dash? No? Are we ready to vote? Yes? Okay. Brian Cook, would you please make a motion? And you are voting on this as well.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As before, since it's a complicated motion with multiple conditions, if we need to make any friendly amendments or other adjustments, the board can guide me in those.
Thank you.
In the matter of 103 Washington Street, ZP 25000023, I move to approve a major amendment to a previously issued special permit ZBA 2017-54 under prior SZO sections 4.4.1 and 5.3.8 with the permit conditions as listed in the PPZ staff memo dated March 21st, 2025, and the findings as follows. 1, the information provided by the applicant conforms to the requirements of 2017 SZO section 5.1.2 and allows for an analysis of the project with respect to the required major amendment to the special permit. 2, finding 2, the project as amended is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing non-conforming structure. Finding 3, the amended project continues to be consistent with the general purposes and specific provisions and objectives of the prior zoning ordinance as determined in the previously issued special permit. And 4, the changes maintain the project's compatibility with the site and surrounding area.
Thank you. Does anybody want to add to any of that? No? Great. Thank you. Then may I please have a second on the motion?
Seconded.
Yeah, thank you, Zach Zaremba. All in favor as we go around the board, would you please vote? Ann Brockelman,
Aye.
Brian Cook,
Aye.
Ann Fullerton,
Aye.
Zach Zaremba,
Aye.
and Susan Fontano, aye. Let the record show that in the matter of 103 Washington Street, it was unanimous approval. Good luck, guys.
Thank
Keep
you.
on going. Nice to see you, Peter. Long
Same
time
here.
no see. Yep. And good luck, Mrs. Rodriguez, with your development there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Okay. Is there any, there's nothing listed on the agenda. Is there any other business tonight? No? Okay, I do have one comment that I'd like to make the board aware of. We all realize that we've had a missing board member for a long time. And we've also realized that we're getting, Brian has been clerking for us and Ann might do so. But until, we're gonna talk about this in a couple of weeks after our board meeting under other business while the meeting is still in session about some ideas we're trying to brainstorm to take the pressure off of certain people feeling they have to do this or they get tired of doing this, or they don't want to do it. And a point of information, that a suggestion was made today to me by Emily, which is a wonderful suggestion. And I said at the beginning, but I say it again now so the public knows. At the bottom of our agenda, there's a line there that says that we're looking for people. And if you want to, come in and join us, to please do so. So they are advertising it. They're advertising it all over on different sites. This says the board is looking to fill one spot for a full member position. Please click here to learn more. And it brings you to a place on our website. But also, that'd be great for you people, especially your professionals. You meet some nice folks out there. They might be interested or have interesting things about zoning that they like. So give us a shout out, see if we can get some people interested and come out and maybe get these positions on our board as well as other boards filled. So that's all I have to say. Does anybody have a comment about that? No? Okay, and you guys, remember we said about everybody trying to pay attention that you might get John Knight to do some sub clerking for us. And what I'd like us to try it on some night that is just like a couple of minutes to approve and maybe one nice little case, that we had with the special permit tonight. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Try and see how Brian's doing, or if you remember how Catherine did it or anybody else in the past. Thank you very much. So without further ado,
Madam
I'd
Chair,
like, yes, Emily?
I apologize for interrupting. It looks like Cynthia might
Yeah.
have something to
Oh,
say.
I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand.
Oh, it's
I'm sorry.
okay. We had talked at some point about having a script emailed out for the clerking, activity. Was that, I don't think that was sent out, was it?
Madam Chair,
Emily, maybe you would know.
through you, no, I don't believe that's something we yet did. That might have been something that had accidentally dropped off our list in the transition since Andrew left, but we can certainly work on that, and we do facilitate that for other boards as well.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
And I would, yeah, that's good. That's good. Anybody else? No? Sorry about that, Cece, I missed you. So does somebody want to make we have a motion, please, to close the meeting?
Sure. I move to adjourn the Somerville Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of April 2, 2025.
Thank
So
you.
moved.
Thank you. Who's gonna second? Do we need a second with a so moved?
Seconded.
Thank you. Zach Zaremba. So we're talking about April the 2nd. It is 6:37 PM. Ann Brockelman,
Aye. Sorry.
Brian Cook,
Aye.
Ann Fullerton,
Aye.
Cecilia Daglian,
Aye.
Zach Zaremba,
Aye.
and Susan Fontano, aye. Let the record show the motion passed unanimously to adjourn. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for your jobs. Good job.